Venezuela is taking a big step into the international spotlight. Next week, the 193-nation UN General Assembly will hold an election to decide if Venezuela can secure a 2-year seat on the UN Security Council. CCTV's Markovits has more.
It could be the first time Venezuela showcases international power in the post-Chavez world, and it's fraught with controversy. It's almost certain that Venezuela has secured the required 2/3 majority votes to win a 2-year temporary seat on the United Nations Security Council. Washington has criticized Caracas for its alleged heavy-handed response to opposition protests that rocked the country earlier this year. Both Human Rights Watch and the U.S. State Department allege some protesters were held indefinitely and even tortured. University student and opposition protester Ayrton Monsalve questions how his country, wrapped in its own turmoil, can support peace elsewhere.
President Nicolas Maduro says he is for peace and to respect human rights in the international community. But we, who are Venezuelan, know they are violating human rights, and when a Venezuelan goes out in the streets to express their political beliefs, they get violated.
President Maduro's critics also say he will use the UN post to back Washington's enemies like Syria, Cuba, and Iran, and give support to Colombia's leftist rebel groups.
Despite the criticism, Venezuelan officials believe that Caracas' inclusion in the Security Council will bring a much-needed voice against U.S.-led military campaigns in the Middle East and around the world.
President Maduro's predecessor and mentor, Hugo Chavez, was a longtime critic of U.S. political and economic power in the world. The United Nations was also the place where Chavez gave an infamous speech in 2006, calling then U.S. President George W. Bush the devil. Under Maduro, Caracas continues to be one of the biggest supporters of Palestine and one of Israel's fiercest critics. A trend that Venezuelan lawmaker William Farinas believes will continue if the country sits on the Security Council.
We believe in equality. You might be the biggest country in the world, but to us, you're just another nation like everyone else. We are ready to utilize our vote for peace and justice, not to intervene militarily.
On Wednesday, the United Nations adopted a resolution proclaiming that the Maduro government should immediately release opposition leader Leopoldo López. He's been in jail for almost 9 months. A rough start for what could be the UN Security Council's newest member. Markovits, CCTV, Caracas.